Today I'd like to address a question that came in from a member of my online training at robertcabral.com, and it's a very poignant issue that the person is having with their dog. It's a young Malinois, so I think it'll be very, very relevant to anyone watching this video, and I hope to really address some things. I've read through this several times, and I wanted to address it in a long-form video so that I could address every single issue that we're having a question with here. So the member's name is Camille. I'm not going to say his last name, it's not important. I will summarize some of the things that aren't as important, some of these introduction parts, but basically says, I'll never get rid of my puppy, I'm losing hope to push forward. Over 5-month-old Malinois puppy, Reactivity started when he was 2 months old, so probably right when you got the dog. 3 months of training every day at this point. And it's hard to specify what kind of reactivity this is. Camille says he's reactive to about absolutely everything when he sets his mind to it. What gets him boiling then? And he says, always cars, bikes, noisy kids, sometimes people, any people, dogs, pigeons, leaves in the wind. Now, right off the top, I'm going to tell you the key thing here, this is prey drive, right? This is an issue with a dog that has a super high degree of prey drive, and depending on the breeding, the lines of the breeding of this dog, it could be a genetic component, which means you're not going to solve it, but you'll be able to manage it. We'll address that all in this video today. The first thing, I'm going to break it down step by step because it's a very long email. The first thing you want to do when you get a puppy that has these kind of issues is you want to go back to the breeder and address the question with that breeder. Are you seeing this in any of the other puppies in this litter? Have you seen this behavior in any of the other breedings of these two dogs? Have you seen this behavior in any of the other, dogs, the dam and the sire, the mother and father of these dogs? Those are important components to ask the breeder so that you're more aware of what you're dealing with in the situation. Okay, so I continue. When he gets too worked up, and that happens every time at some point, he doesn't care about me, the leash, the toys, the food, or anything. And there, I'm going to stop again. You're allowing the dog to get too worked up. So you're saying to me, when you start to do things, you have some kind of control over the dog. But then the behavior, the excitement pushes through your leash, your toy, and your food, and that's normal, right? Because the leash and the toys become very boring and stagnant to the dog, and the dog goes back to things that are more exciting, especially because you're probably saying at that point, hey, knock it off, don't do this. And that's getting more excitement and more frustration in that puppy. Puppies can only train for a short duration of time, and most of it has to be done very casually. In other words, super chill exposure, take the dog somewhere where there's some excitement, maybe 20, 30 feet away, get the dog out, have some treats, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, boom, put the dog back in the car, take off, that's it. You need to end your training on success, but it needs to be done in multiple exposures. It can't be done in one 10, 15, 20-minute session. It's not going to happen with this puppy, and you're just going to get the dog to go over threshold really, really fast. And you can't do firm corrections with the puppy because it's not fair to the puppy. You're going to just end up beating up a puppy, and that never, never works out. He has to launch towards what he's looking at. He has to, until taken away to somewhere quieter. We hide from cars most of the time. Before you judge, my goal is not to run away. Well, I'm not saying your goal is to run away, but you need to keep the dog at a distance from the cars that's a fair distance. Maybe it's 20 feet, maybe it's 15 feet, maybe I don't know what it is. But you need to know that. And exposing a high drive dog like a Malinois to a trigger or an object of prey, something that's moving quickly that he can't catch, will build crazy frustration. Now, if it's at a distance, it will build less frustration with the dog because it's less of a stimulus to the dog. And there you might be able to get the dog to take some treats. So if the car is 20 feet away and the dog sees the car and you, hey, and he comes back to you and you run backwards and you give him food, give him food, give him food, give him food, and you do it once or twice, the dog starts to learn, okay, I was successful there and I can repeat that, right? You can repeat what you're succeeding at, but once you go to failure, you can't repeat that. You're stuck then in this rut of failure. Sometimes we have a good session and he's been focused for a longer period. I take the risk of holding the ground while another car is approaching, and there you go. Making my dog hold his focus, rewarding him, ignoring the car, and sometimes it works, but extremely rare. Right there, Camille, you summarized the entire problem that you're facing, and it's so easy to solve, right? Don't push it. When the dog is successful after 3 minutes, put the dog in the car or take the dog to a park, play with him, feed him, do something, right? Do not push this dog past the level that you keep doing, because that's where you're failing, right? So it's very rare that he's able to hold that focus and do that. Then don't put him in that position. Let him succeed for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 days, and then increase the time, right? Just when you think, oh, I'm gonna go, don't do it yet. Wait another couple of days. The more he succeeds, even if it's 3 minutes or 4 minutes or 2 cars or 3 cars or 1 car, or whatever it is, always, always, always with a puppy, always end on success, always. Okay, taking that risk and failing is basically either going back home because he won't focus anymore or trying to win him back at least 10 to 15 minutes of jumping like a monkey. You can't do it, right? You can't be the jumping monkey. You can be the jumping monkey in the beginning to get him to do it, but you can't use the jumping monkey as a distraction to try to get him to do it when he's in that drive. It's just not going to work. That jumping monkey that you're talking about is something that when he sees it, he kind of goes, what's that? And you go, hey, and you get excited, you have the toy, hey, or the toy, the treats. That's right there where it should be, right? That's right where you want him to understand the success, right? And then that's it. How do we train? I go out with him 3 times a day. The first 2 sessions take an hour each. Way too long. Way too long. And the last one is usually between 30 and 45 minutes. Way too long. I could go more often and make the sessions shorter. No. 3 sessions, 10, 12 minutes a day. That's it. That's it. The rest is walking, engaging, playing with them, just going out, socializing the dog. No long training sessions for puppies. Stop. I could go often and make sessions shorter, but it takes so much time, so much for me to gather the energy needed for just one walk. I feel like I can't go without at least 2 coffees and energy drink. I'll fail it. No. You need to just keep this super short. You will succeed in shortness, in much shorter training. I don't know how to name the exercise in English, so I'm sorry if it's something that's confusing. Training is simple. I train him generally to focus on me, my hand, my voice. I train him to walk beside me while focusing on my hand, staying a bit behind, stopping when I stop. I reward him a lot using just his food. We walk until he's releasing reward. Too much. You need to just let this dog go out. You're building frustration in the dog. The dog is at this 5-month window. You're trying to keep the dog on a focused heel. Then you're trying to keep the dog from getting distracted. That's what's killing you in this, Camille. This is what's destroying your relationship and your engagement with this dog, right? You need to, really simply, just take this dog out on a leash, and he just needs to walk near you. And when he doesn't pay attention to you, hey, and he looks at you and run backwards, give him treats. Then let him walk. Then when he's not paying attention to you, hey, boom, 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 boom. Let him see. I can look around. I can see things. This idea of keeping this dog boxed in this little box, in this little focused heel at 5 months old, and then expecting him not to crash and explode when he sees something exciting is asking him too much. You've got to stop. He will lose focus, turn around, back off, hold positions. Lots of rewards. I feed him during those sessions. I need him hungry when we go out. Well, you need to get him engaged, and you can feed him his entire meal out of your pockets or out of a fanny bag or treat pouch or something, but you cannot push him past his limit. And that's what you're doing. Sometimes even take his bowl out there and make him eat outside while exposed to distraction. That's a great idea. Also, I throw in some play every 10 minutes. Well, first of all, play every 10 minutes. Play should be coming every minute, right? Not every 10 minutes. Play should be coming every minute. He doesn't have a high toy drive, but I get him to like toys by actively playing tug of war. I keep the training toys specifically for training. He doesn't see them out. That's a good idea, but you need to get those toys to be exciting to him. You need to be exciting to him, right? And just being a jumping monkey isn't really going to be as much as if you can get this dog to engage to you and to focus back with you because it's exciting for him to want to do things with you because you're a fun person. Okay, also I try to calm him down a bit and set him to work mode every time we go out. Bad. It just should just be going out mode. Just relax with him. That means while we go down the stairs, I teach him to walk with me instead of just launching down there and waiting for me. I do that to keep him a bit more focused. Okay, I know you don't want him running downstairs, that's fine, but don't overpressure this dog. Because every time we step outside of the block apartment, he already pulls hard and as he can towards the street. He acts like he's been dreaming of this moment each time, like all he wants and needs for me to open that door so he can sprint towards anything that moves. We try different environments regularly, but I can't put him in a car and drive somewhere else each session. We only have to rely on the area we have. Just find different areas of the areas you have, and you'll be able to do this, no problem. He loved bonus info. He loves all dogs. He's curious of all people. No accidents so far, but he still launches towards him and gets angry because the leash is stopping him from doing so. I'm begging you, all please advise. Okay, simple thing. Take him out, loose leash, have your food, walk backwards, keep it super short. 3 10-minute training sessions a day and 2 or 3 walks where he's just having fun, but do not overpressure the dog. Do not push the dog past threshold. Do not expect too much of the dog. Don't try to get these long focus heels that you see on videos online because they're crap. Right? A focused heel is something you do only in competition, only for a short duration when you really need it. It's not something you expect a dog, let alone a 5-month-old puppy, to hold. Keep training fun, keep your dog engaged, keep your dog thinking that you are the source of all fun and also of the source of corrections when need be. But you cannot pressure a little puppy to do things that he doesn't know how to do because you're not giving your dog, your puppy, the chance to learn these things. Make training fun, make it rewarding, and put consequences in later. That's it. I hope it helps. For the best online training, check out my website, robertcabral.com.